This video will focus on the CSAD tab in Search HQ. The CSAD tab is composed of two sections: setting up a CSAD and creating track crawls. The CSAD section will easily create a standard CSAD from the basic information you enter. Let's look at the two primary controls in this section in some more detail. The CSAD definition points tell Search HQ how many points are in the CSAD. 2 points means it is a straight or rectangular CSAD. 3 points will mean there is a bend in the CSAD as shown here. Beside the CSAD points, the Create button will allow you to create the CSAD in Aussie Explorer by clicking the points on the CSAD on the map. I'll demo this shortly. As I mentioned, these are all the primary controls you need to create a CSAD. While we are here, let's look at some of the other controls which are used less often. The Standard Option button will allow you to create a standard CSAD with 10 and 15 nautical mile widths, which is checked by default.
Mountain VFR CSAD with 5 and 10 nautical mile widths is the other option.
The 10 nautical mile checkbox tells Search HQ if you want to have it draw the 10 nautical mile search lines, which is checked by default. The Colored box will let you choose the color for the CSAD lines. I find a darker color stands out better when printed and easier to see in the aircraft. The Plot CSAD button will redraw the current CSAD with the new color. The File Name box will show you where the current CSAD will be saved. The Waypoint prefix is simply the first letter identifier for each 10 nautical mile segment. The default is M. Aussie Explorer will store your Search HQ CSAD as a route. Because Aussie Explorer can store several routes at once, the route number box is the Aussie Explorer route number that corresponds to your Search HQ CSAD. Again, these controls are rarely used and usually don't need to be modified for most CSADs. The two controls you will use the most are the CSAD definition points and the Create button. Now let's make a CSAD. Let's assume the last known position, or LKP, of our downed plane was at the Airdrie, Alberta airport, and his intended destination was Drumheller, Alberta. As this will be a simple rectangular 2-point CSAD, ensure the number 2 is entered in the CSAD definition points box. Now click the Create button. A box comes up reminding us of the instructions. Now in Aussie Explorer, click on our last known position, which is the Airdrie airport. You will see the number 1 labeled on the map. Now click on the Drumheller airport. The number 2 will be displayed. Click on Search HQ in the taskbar to bring it back to the forefront and select the OK button to overwrite any existing CSADs. Now you can see your CSAD in Aussie Explorer. Let's look at it in more detail. Notice the last known position is labeled M000C. This can be thought of as mile 0 center. Notice the next waypoint is M010C, or mile 10 center, followed by mile 20, and so on until we get to Drumheller, which is mile 47. This tells us instantly that Drumheller is 47 miles from Airdrie. Search HQ also plotted the area 10 miles before the last known position and 10 miles past the destination. Notice the 10 nautical mile point before the last known position has the waypoint name -10. It has also plotted the 5-mile secondary search areas around the CSAD. You can see that Search HQ quickly plotted a CSAD that would take a long time with a conventional ruler and pencil.